There are two sorts of living thing in the world, animals and plants. Animals are human like ourselves, horses, cows, dogs, birds, fish, insects and many other kinds. Plants include
trees,
grass,
mushrooms and seaweed,
moss,
down to tiny lichens. Trees are the largest living things,
bigger than elephants,
and they live longer too. Plants and animals both need food to live, but animals have to go out and find theirs.
But plants have to stay in one place.
They get their food from the air and the rain and sunshine.
And their roots send water and useful minerals up from the soil.
Water and minerals they need.
The leaves are like thousands and thousands of tiny factories. They gather the sun and rain from above and the water and minerals from the roots and turn it all into plant food which courses about the tree, making it grow. Then the leaves fall off, lie on the ground and rot, returning unused nutrients to the soil. Trees are useful.
They're a home for lots of animals.
Deer,
badgers and foxes,
rabbits, hedgehogs and mice, as well as birds that nest in the branches and find things to eat.
Other plants rely on trees too. Ferns and mosses, foxgloves and mushrooms and bluebells need to live in the shade. These plants all support other life too. When they are big enough, trees can be cut down or felled. The wood is used
to build houses,
to make furniture and all sorts of things.
Pencils?
We burn wood to keep warm and in power stations.
Paper and cardboard are made from wood, so every book or paper you read has been made from a tree. Years ago, two men would have felled the tree with a long saw. Now a huge machine called a harvester, which you see here, is able to grasp the tree, cut it down, then swing the big tree up in the air to strip all the branches off. Next it cuts the trunk into lengths, ready to load on the lorry. The timber goes to the sawmill, where it is cut up into planks. Here you see piles of planks drying. When they are dry, they will go to make somebody's new house.
Trees give us food, like apples and cherries and nuts.
Chocolate,
Coca-Cola and maple syrup.
Some of the loveliest places owe their beauty to trees and woods.
Trees are beautiful.
Let's find out about some trees now. Where shall we start? Maybe you recognise this leaf with the wavy edges and lobes all round. It's from an oak tree, one of our biggest and longest living trees. They were used to build ships for war and beams for castles and strong doors to keep enemies out. This is the oak tree's seed. An acorn looks like an egg in an egg cup. A long time ago, people used to drive their pigs into the forest to grow fat on the acorns under the tree. The bark of an oak tree is rough and furrowed like old rope. It makes a home for all sorts of moths and mites. An oak tree like this will be supporting up to 300 different kinds of animal or plant life. Here is a different leaf, a beech leaf, pointed at both ends and with a neat edge. The beech grows to be a big tree like the oak, but see how smooth the bark is. Silvery grey, not like the rough, gnarly bark of the oak tree. This is the beech tree seed or beech mast. It has a prickly shell to protect the little triangular seeds that you see inside. Pigeons love beech nuts, and so do red squirrels, who find acorns a bit too big. The squirrels collect beech nuts and bury them for winter food, but they forget where they have put quite a lot of them. So the nuts are left to grow into little beech trees. That is how the beech tree gets its seeds carried away to a new place. Now you won't confuse this birch leaf with the beech leaf because it is so much smaller. The birch leaf shape is like a triangle or a heart. The birch tree is not burly like the oak, but quite tall and slender, a graceful tree with fine drooping twigs. Birch trees have silvery white bark. The bark is papery and sometimes a piece will peel off. Where shall we go now? Those 5 points make the sycamore leaf look like a big paw print with claws on 5 pads of the paw. The sycamore seeds have wings and fly away in pairs. In autumn the seeds ripen and fall from the tree. The wind catches them and they whirl away like little helicopters to a new place far enough away to give the young sycamores a chance of their own place in the sun. This horse chestnut leaf is made up of leaflets, all separate, spreading out from the very tip of the leaf stalk. They look more like a hand of fat fingers than a paw. This leaf has 5 fingers, although sometimes there are 7. The horse chestnut is easy to recognize in early summer when it has big white flowers that stand up like candles. Then in autumn the fruit, looking like green spiky golf balls, falls down under the tree and splits open to show shiny brown conkers inside. Children used to collect these conkers and thread them on a string to play a game. Before conkers or even leaves are on the tree, you can tell a horse chestnut by the wonderful fat sticky buds. Touch one with a finger and you will see. Let's choose another leaf that is made up, like the horse chestnut, of leaflets joined together. This is an ash leaf, but its leaflets don't spring from one place. They are in pairs on either side of the leaf stalk. If you count, there are usually 9, 4 pairs and 1 at the tip. You can always tell an ash tree in winter, even without leaves, because it has these really special black buds. They really are black. No other tree has buds like that. After the ash, we are going to look at a very Scottish tree. This is a rowan leaf. You won't confuse it with the ash leaf because you are clever. Here's the secret. There are 11 little leaflets, or even up to 15 leaflets on a rowan leaf. That means 5, 6 or 7 pairs and 1 more at the tip. The rowan leaf is much smaller than the ash leaf. The rowan tree, which is sometimes called the mountain ash, but we know it is not the same sort of ash, can live in difficult places on moors and mountains. Because of this, it is not a very big tree. But it is generous in giving us white flowers in the summer, followed by great bunches of berries which the birds enjoy. And we can make rowan berry jelly to eat with meat. This is the leaf everyone recognizes. You won't forget this leaf if you step on it in bare feet. It is holly, of course. You might wonder why holly doesn't lose its leaves in winter like most other broad-leaved trees do. But see how tough and shiny these leaves are. They can last through cold wind and frost. The rain and ice run off the shiny leaf as if they were umbrellas. Another surprise for young tree detectives. Just as the holly looks a bit like a deciduous, leaf-losing tree, but is really an evergreen tree, so the larch looks like an evergreen tree and is really deciduous, loses its leaves in winter. The larch needles are in tufts like paintbrushes, coming from those small bubbles along the twig. Larch cones come from funny red flowers like mini pineapples that you can find on larch twigs in spring. Larch trees are light green all summer and golden yellow in autumn. Do you see? The needles on the Scots pine are much longer and shaggier than the larches. They are also more bristly. Scots pines have grown in Britain for 10,000 years, longer than almost any other tree. You can often tell Scots pines by their pinky red trunks that glow in sunlight. You can find out how old this pine tree was when it was cut down if you count the rings on this stump. Trees add a ring of growth each year. Find a tree stump and count them. Here are needles that are shorter than the Scots pine and more prickly than larch. It's a Norway spruce. Norway spruce is a Christmas tree, so you know already it is an evergreen. When you see big forests of dark trees planted on the hillsides, they will probably be spruce trees, planted as a crop to be cut down and used for paper making or building timber. Tree detectives need to look at the cone. Spruce cones are the ones that hang down under this long cigar shape. Larch cones are little egg shapes, about the size of those mini Easter eggs that come in a packet. And Scots pine cones are pointed when young, then open out round to let out their seeds. If you are standing under a spruce tree and little bits of fir cone are dropping on your head, look up. You might catch sight of the red squirrel up there eating very messily. A mouse or a bird eating the cone would be more careful. You would not know it was there. This yew is evergreen and looks as if it has needles, but they are really narrow little leaves, as you can tell if you stroke them. They are quite soft and lie flat on either side of the twig. It is very poisonous, and those pretty berries are too, to us and to most animals, but not to birds. The yew wood is strong and springy. It made the best bows to use with arrows, and English armies won wars because of their yew bows. These are just a few of the trees you might find near you. There are many other kinds in orchards and in parks, even in the street, and I hope you enjoy finding out about them. But there is still another reason why we need trees. Remember how trees gather their food through their leaves? In doing that, they give out a good gas, oxygen, that we all need, and they collect and store up a harmful gas, carbon dioxide, also known as CO2. Trees store up the carbon dioxide in their wood and their roots, and in doing this, they are making the world a better place for us all.
Trees are useful and good fun.
They are beautiful.
Trees help the world to be a healthy place.
Look after trees and they'll look after you.